My dudes, my guys, my freaking boys, let's get cracking on the CRX. I'm gonna do the rear mounted radiator setup, because if you guys haven't seen the previous video, getting everything ready for wiring so I can go drop the car off in North Carolina and have everything wired. But I need to mount a couple more things before that can happen, so that's what we're working on now. Okay, so this is the old radiator out of the car. It's just like a eBay unit with a fan, nothing on it or anything like that, no shroud or whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and mount this. Just for now, we're just gonna like temporarily mount it because I'm gonna have to cap this off and I'm switching these over to AN. But like I said, for right now, we're just trying to get stuff wired, so let's go ahead and slap her in there. Just have to make brackets and stuff. Really working on the rear wheel speed sensor, and then I have been working on the rear mount radiator stuff, and it's all welded up now. These are the tabs, how it's going to hang in there. So now we just got to hold it up and then drill some holes, or mark these and then drill some holes, and then put some rib nuts in it, and then put the fan on it, and then leave it up in there, and it's ready to get wired.
He came over, he's like, hey, should I use this control arm to put on there? And like one was longer than the other. Like, no, it's you can look at it and see.
It's hot still. Feel all the old coolant that's falling out of this stuff feels great. Feels great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it feels like I just welded it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Alright, so CJ's over here now. We're throwing the radiator in, and then that'll be good to go. And Grilly got this stuff all done. It's all back together.
Rock and roll.
So, getting close. All right, so I didn't film like I wanted to, but Grilly was here and CJ was here, and we just got into a rhythm and knocked a bunch of stuff out. So we got the shift cables ran. I don't have any like the washers or anything like that to keep them in place, so I might just throw some cotter pins in it for now. I also didn't mount the shifter because I gotta like do stuff for that, and that's not like, I just want to be able to put it in gear on the trailer and call it a day. Like I could have just done it on the trans, but anyway. So Grilly got the rear wheel speed sensor in for me, so that's cool. And then we got the rear mounted radiator set up in. So like I said, this is just temporary for right now. Then these will get converted to AN and just run 90s off. And what I'm gonna do is run them to like here, and then run metal tubes all the way to the front to like where this ends, like under the subframe, and then run AN lines again. So, but everything's in here now, and I'm super happy with it. Now I just got to mount the battery, which I didn't have material to do, so I think on Wednesday I'm gonna do that. So I'll just update you guys when I'm done with that. All right, fellas, it is day 2 now of getting the CRX done, so I can take it down to get it wired. Today I'm going to mount the battery. I had to steal the battery out of the wagon to be able to do this. So right now the wagon's not running, but that battery is kind of iffy anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and make a battery bracket, get the battery mounted in place, and then I think all that's left after that is just cleaning the car. Okay, so this is about the size battery that I'm gonna run. They're normally Odyssey batteries. That's what I'm gonna end up getting for it anyway. So I'm gonna put an Odyssey battery in here. I could run 16 volt and do all that stuff, but I think it's kind of stupid to run a generator, like have to bring a generator to drive your car. I'm not about it. And then the batteries always have to be on tenders. It's a whole lot of other maintenance that I don't feel like doing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go with an Odyssey battery and run an alternator. Now, here's where this comes in. I have always had B series cars. This is my first like K series car, like for myself. And I don't know the weight distribution very well. I know I'm really good with the B series, but this being a drag car, you want as much weight forward, like as far forward as you can get. So I'd like to mount the battery like up here somewhere, but the issue with that is there's no room. So the next thing I thought about was like, oh, I'll just put it in the car, plenty of room in the car, super easy to mount in the car, all that. But then you have to have a battery box. I'm not trying to do all that. So The next thing I thought about is I'm just gonna mount it on the sides here. I think I'm gonna do this side instead of this side because this has all the fuel stuff on it. But here's the part that I don't know is like the weight biased. Like the motor is on the passenger side of the car, but me as the driver, I'm sitting on the driver's side of the car. And I also have my fuel cell on the driver's side of the car and all that stuff. And like I don't weigh as much as a motor, I don't think, but then like I just don't know what side to mount it on for weight stuff. I mean, I can always adjust it in the coilovers, only corner balance it and stuff like that. But I think I'm just gonna mount it right here. It would just be easiest. That way it's out of the way of everything and I can slap it in. So I bought this 1/8 inch, I think it's like 1/8 inch, it's either 1/8 or 3/16. It was probably 3/16 or quarter or something like that. But I bought this to build the battery tray out of. Now this is all aluminum, so it weighs like nothing. So what I like to do when I build my cars is I like to take out as much weight as I can, but then when you do, like you have to add weight, like you have to run a battery, right? So I want to add that weight where I want to add it. You know what I mean? That's why the fuel pump's so far forward. That's why the fuel cell's so far forward. That's why the fuel pump's so far forward. That's why everything hangs off the front of the car as far forward as it can get in front of the front tires to help for traction. But when it comes to unnecessary stuff like brackets and all that, like yeah, it would help add weight, but I don't want to add too much weight. You know what I mean? Like if it has to be added, I'll add it. If it doesn't have to be added, I like to go as light as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the cutting on this so we can make a tray for this. All right, so this is what I came up with. This is gonna be the battery tray, at least for now. It goes on there like this. So we'll pick up these first two 12 mils right here, and then there's a 10 there and a 10 there. So there's 4 bolts holding this thing in, and then the strap holds the battery, and the battery just kind of slides into place and then gets strapped in. So let me throw it up there real quick and I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, so there it is, sitting in place, and it's not going anywhere. That's a whole car moving, so that should be good. And I test fitted the bumper and it clears it and everything, so that's how that's gonna live. Now the next thing I got to do is I have one headlight, and this I don't need to do, but I'm gonna do it. I have one headlight in here out of a CRX and the other one's out of a wagon, and they don't sit straight and it annoys me to death. And my buddy had these headlights laying around, which are pretty cool. So if you guys don't know, the factory EF lights, they're glass. These are UK spec ones and they're plastic. So I'm gonna try to get some of this oxidation off of them and see if I can pop those in. This one needs a bracket. It's missing a bracket, so like it goes like this. So I might try to do that real quick. I'm not gonna sit here and try to get these perfect right now, but you can see I just basically touched this one up for now. That'll be good enough for now. Now we'll go ahead and do this one. This one's gonna be tricky though, because this is the one with the missing bracket. If you guys are wondering what I'm using, it's just a Harbor Freight polisher with the clear cut. I use this stuff on like everything when I'm trying to like correct stuff, and it works pretty good. All right, friends, we got our headlights in. This one's still sitting a little bit lower. I don't know if something's wrong with the bucket, like the headlight bucket or what, but that's something to deal with at a later date. Okay, now the next thing I'm gonna do is, you can see where I stitch welded all this stuff is starting to rust, and I'm not about that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit it real quick with a wire brush and just spray some paint over it. It's gonna be super ugly. I was trying to not do that. I don't know. Like I know it's just temporary and I'm gonna end up painting the bay anyway, but I just hate like spray painting stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that stuff up, put some paint on it. That way it quits rusting, and then I just gotta clean the car up. So and then we're ready to go. All right, it is now a couple days later, and we have the truck all loaded up. Got the trailer. About to make this 6-hour drive to go drop the car off to the wiring guy. So, waiting for CJ to get here, and then we can head out. There she is, all tucked away. So we're running a little early, and we seen somebody that had a flat tire, and so we decided to help. This shit is completely flat. All right, now we're back on the road. We did our good deed for the day. Let's get it. All right, we just dropped the car off. This is where it's gonna be for the next while. There it sits. So we literally just ran out of gas, right? Coming up this hill. CJ had to run in and grab this. That bitch was $40.
$40. I said it should come with
40.
5 gallons.
What
They
the
said nah.
fuck? This shit was $40, but we put enough gas in it to get it up the hill to do this. I've literally never ran out of gas a day in my life and ran out of fucking gas. I hate it here. God, that's such a pain. Now the truck sounds like it has a miss, like one of the injectors is messed up, but it's probably because it has air in the lines. Oh man, I'm gonna have to like take stuff apart in the morning, I guess, and try to figure out why it has a miss. At least the car's down here, right? God dang, man. All right, we made it to Josh's. So we're at Josh's house now. His house back there in the woods. But we dropped the trailer off. Now we're gonna go get some food. And I think we're done for tonight. All right, so we made it to Josh's second house, AKA the RV. We have the RV to ourselves this weekend. There's CJ hanging out back here in the bed. So I guess it's gonna be it for this one. We got the CRX delivered. Now we wait approximately 2 months, hopefully a little bit longer if I'm being honest, but we wait approximately 2 months and then we can go pick it up. So, see y'all.